Hey skiers, I'm Jeff from SkiEssentials.com. Welcome to our 2026 ski test. Today we're talking about the Black Crow's Corvus. If you didn't know, the Corvus is the first ski that Black Crow's ever made. The ski itself is a lot different now, but the name is still the same, and really the intention is still the same too. It's not the biggest ski that they make, but it is kind of the most focused on big mountain performance. If you're looking to go find like true big mountain terrain and big, long, steep lines, and you want to ski them with speed, this ski is awesome. The newest version of it, I do think they made it better for more technical skiing, and that's something that Black Crow's puts in their description of it as well, is that you can take it into tight chutes, tight couloirs, stuff like that, and it pivots a little bit better now, but it's still a very powerful ski overall, and it's just big. So really cool construction in this ski. Like I said, Black Crow's has excellent descriptions of their skis, and this one, this isn't like groundbreaking in how they describe it. Poplar and beechwood core, but then they say it has a dash of Titanal, and in a world that can be very, very techy and describing the thickness of your Titanal or the length of it, I like that they just said it's got a dash of Titanal, and I think that's all it needs. If you remember the previous Corvus, that ski was kind of a beast, and it's not that this one isn't, but I do think it's a little bit more approachable and a little bit just easier to ski, which is nice, while still achieving like true, just crazy capabilities when it comes to speed and power. The scale literally just turned off on me. We've got a 186.2 centimeter length here, poplar beech, dash of Titanal. Let's see what we got here. Just over 2,000 grams, 2,015 grams, which is pretty impressive, you know, for having beech, that denser wood in there, and then also having some metal to keep it right around 2,000 grams in this length is awesome. It is pretty stiff, but it's not like full planky like I'm trying to flex a 2x4 stiff. There is a little bit of suppleness to its flex pattern, which I think is really nice. I feel like if it didn't have that, it would just be a little bit too harsh. And I know there's some skiers out there that can handle a ski that's really, really stiff and really, really harsh, but not all of us want that. And just having a little bit of a softer flex there just smooths out the terrain in front of you. It gives the ski a little bit better vibration damping, all those good things. Looking at shape here, truly this is a big mountain directional freeride ski. 110 underfoot, a 25 meter turn radius, which is pretty darn big. And then it doesn't have like a tremendous amount of rocker, especially for a ski that's 110 underfoot. That's about where tip rocker starts, but you should be able to see on camera there's not much splay, so you get really long effective edge through the tip of the ski. Same is true in the tail. It starts about there. Doesn't really rise much off the snow surface until you get to right around here, and then it's got kind of a nice little kick up to the tail and like a mini swallowtail. I don't really know if it's accomplishing much back there. Maybe skin attachment. I suppose it could help pretty significantly with that. And there is camber underfoot, you know. That's important to this ski's performance, I think, especially with the little bit of a softer flex pattern. The previous Corvus had that like full reverse camber shape. I think it had 2 full sheets of metal, and it was very, very stiff. So this, I think, is a better recipe. I think a better combination. I think the performance that this shape achieves is just a little bit better overall. And what is that performance? So the Corvus wouldn't be a Corvus if you couldn't get on it and just absolutely rip. Matt Testa was on it in our ski test, and that's something that he went to right away on his feedback, is that if you want to ski fast, if you want to ski aggressively, this thing is awesome. But they did work in some quickness, and I think that's huge because it kind of opens up more terrain. On the previous Corvus, I was never really one that wanted to even really ski it. But when I did ski it, I definitely didn't want to go in like a tight, demanding section of the mountain. And now on this ski, that's kind of like exactly what I want to do. You go fast when it's open, and then you get into tight zones, and you're able to maneuver the ski around. That said, it's certainly not for everybody. You know, you did see some mixed responses in our ski test, and it's not surprising. Like a 110 underfoot ski with a 25-meter turn radius is just completely outside of what you're used to for a lot of skiers. And it's not for everybody, and it's not intended to be for everybody. So you kind of have to think about whether it's right for you or not. You know, a ski like the Black Crow's Atris has a much bigger intended audience, in my opinion, leaving this Corvus to be more of a specialty tool. You know, you go watch your favorite skiers on the Freeride World Tour, and if you have just hopes and dreams of skiing like that or skiing terrain like that, that's where you need a ski like this. And it's also kind of location dependent. There's not a great application for it here in Stowe. And I think that's fair to say about most places in New England. This is kind of a little bit much. I will say that we tested it a lot here in Stowe, really more 2 seasons ago than this past season. We did obviously had people on it this past season, but when they first initially changed this ski to this version, we skied it a lot, and where the previous Corvus had no place here in Stowe, the fact that you can ski this one and have a good time is kind of a testament to the changes that Black Crow's made to it. It is quicker, it is a little bit more versatile when it comes to that off-piste freeride terrain, and I think a really cool ski. It kind of like, it sort of bridges the gap between a ski like the Atris and a ski like the Anima, but it does it in a pretty interesting way. Like, something that I love about Black Crow's is their skis never feel like the same. You know, for some companies, when you go from their narrower skis to their wider skis, it just feels like the same thing, and you're just going up in width. The Atris is very well rounded. The Anima, to me, has more of like kind of like freestyle vibes and a big powder ski, and then it leaves this Corvus to focus a little bit more on being that strong, big mountain, kind of point it down the fall line and go style ski. So that's it. That is the Black Crow's Corvus. Let us know if you have any questions about it, and we'll see you out there on the slopes.